Live. Okay, I guess everyone got the message that we are live now. Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees who are here with us in this room, devotees who are connected live. Hare Krishna. What we're listening in the background is from Srila Prabhupada ji, who is ISKCON founder Acharya. And this is the kirtan he always used to do before any lecture. He did it. And that seems to be the tradition worldwide in ISKCON. So whenever we start any sessions, we kind of do this. Either we do it ourselves, usually we do that, or if the recording is there from Prabhupada, even better to hear directly from Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So, I hope I'm just checking. All right. I hope other devotees will join. And those who are new, I'm going to share the website which we refer. And as you could see, what we are sharing is Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Bhagavad Gita as it is from Srila Prabhupada ji. And this is what we have been using for a while now. In ISKCON across the globe, Bhagavad Gita as it is published through Bhagavad Gita's what we call BPT. It's a Bhaktivedanta trust which Srila Prabhupada put together. So I've heard there are more than 400 translations of Bhagavad Gita in the market. This is the one which we refer, and there's a website. If in case you haven't seen the website before, I will let you know. The website name is Vedabase, and I can quickly show it. And maybe I'll share the link here. I've shared the link here in the chat, and I will share on YouTube as well. Vedabase.io. And then if you will go there, there's a whole library. Within the library, you can navigate to Bhagavad Gita. Within Bhagavad Gita, of course, we have the 18 chapters, 18 mantras, but very first thing is setting the scene. So that's what we have started. But before we officially begin, let's do what we call Mangala Charan. And for that, I am going to stop sharing and restart the sharing. Or let's replace the sharing. Hopefully everyone could see Mangala Charan. So this is Mangala Charan. Those who have attended other sessions in other series, or those who have started this series recently of Bhagavad Gita. We have done Bhagavad Gita a few times now in different continents, but we have started this series of Bhagavad Gita recently. Today is the third session. And very first thing we start is with Mangala Charan. Mangala is auspicious, Charan is the lotus feet of the Lord. So we just pray, and these are the bunch of prayers we do. This includes praying to the Guru foremost, the first and foremost thing, and then to the Lordship, to Lord Krishna, Radhaji, and then to all the devotees who are here. Because as Bhagavad Gita says that we should always be in association of devotees, and we should always seek their blessings. So because you are here, you are counted as devotees, and I'm going to seek your blessings as well. But before that, let's take Guru's blessings, and then I shall start now. Feel free if anybody would like to join. Otherwise, maybe hear it, listen it, follow it on the screen, and feel free to share it next time if you like. Oh. अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै
तस्मै
श्रीगुरुवे
श्रीगुरुवे
नमः।
नमः।
Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Saratneyam Rupa Antikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yudapad Kamalam
Kamalam
Shri
Sri
Gurun
Guru
Vaishnavam
Vaishnavam
Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathavitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya Devam
Chaitanya Devam Sri
Shri
Radha
Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhavitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste
Namostute
Tapta
Tapa
Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Parmani
Pranamami
Hari Priye
Hari
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kirpao Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Namo
Sri
Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachate Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Gurudev Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Jai Jai Shri Radesha. Hare Krishna, Danvat Pranam to Mataji as well. Those who have
Hare.
joined. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining in Mangalacharan. It's always a good practice. We recite these prayers every day, in the morning, in evening, whenever we start the auspicious sem. It's really, really, really good to have this auspiciousness to begin. And maybe we will do another session where we will just do on Mangalacharan to understand the meaning of each and every word of all the shlokas. So maybe we will do one of those as well. There is a presentation which we can run and we can understand what we recite. However, coming from Bharatvarsh, I guess if you will pick the Sanskrit, very similar to Hindi, then you would able to figure out what the words mean. But for complete clarity, we shall maybe look into it. Great. I welcome one and all again in this third session of Bhagavad Gita as it is. So we are following Bhagavad Gita as it is by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swamiji Prabhupada. And the very first thing before we start the 18 chapter, 700 verses Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada has given a scene. He has set the scene, and that's a background what we are going through. There are few which we have already done. Hence, you will see me flicking through these slides. So this one, we spent some time, we understood what Bhagavad Gita is. Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. Who wrote it, who compiled it? So Ganesh ji wrote it technically, but the author who was compiling, who was narrating it was Vedvyasa, who compiled all the Shastras, Vedas, Puranas, all the Mahakavya. He's the one who put them together. We call, rather than author, more technical, accurate term is the compiler. And then we went further. What is Bhagavad Gita? It's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjun. Arjun, being the disciple, asked Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna will see in chapter 2, verse 7. So we call it 2.7. And that's the way we refer the verses from Bhagavad Gita. Anytime if you will hear me saying 12.12, 15.15, that's first is the chapter and then the verse, which is the shloka. And there are 18 chapters, so you will never hear 19 point something above because it's only 18 chapters. Altogether 700 verses. And we will go into that. when we will move further. But those who might have joined very first time, then the Mahabharata history we shared, the Kuru dynasty, we talked about Bhishma, and then the common teacher, who was the Dronacharya, and in the red you see the Dhrashtra sons, and we refer them as the Kauravas. And then we have the Pandus, who they were five Pandavas. They all were the son of Pandus from two wives. And this is where we were. This is what we had started. So we will continue from here. And there are so many stories. Some of the stories we share, some of the stories we leave. But feel free if anybody would like to share any story, because I appreciate that you might have heard Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, or might have seen the serials, might have read it. Then feel free. It's one of those sessions which is not just one way lecture kind of. It's a participation. It's a discussion. So feel free. Anything which I would say maybe you need more clarification. Maybe you might not agree with it. Maybe you have your own perspective on it. Feel free. Feel free. Don't you think of offending anyone. And we will see in Bhagavad Gita and actually in our Vedic culture, all the Vedas, Upanishad, Puranas, they all are in the form of conversation, in the question and answer forms. So the person who facilitate, like myself today, don't consider me as a teacher. I'm just a facilitator. So the facilitator never get offended by those who are attending, asking a lot of questions, and even if they are very challenging questions. Even though when we will read Bhagavad Gita, we will realize there is a way we should ask questions. And that's what make Duryodhan different than Arjun. Because somebody said it, and there are so many interesting things. Somebody said that Krishna did it wrong. And you might be one of those who might think that way. That, guess what? Mahabharata, one of the biggest battle in the world on this planet, right? Happened between Arjun, well, from Pandavas, and Kauravas. But why Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita to Arjun? Krishna should have given Bhagavad Gita to Duryodhan, because he was a baddie. Because Arjun was already pious. And if you think about it, you might be thinking, that's actually right, isn't it? I wonder if anyone here thinks that this is right. And feel free to share your opinion anytime. You can raise your virtual hand, you have the chat, or just unmute yourself and start speaking. Again, doesn't really matter. You could interrupt me at any point, whenever you think you deem suitable. So Duryodhan was or supposed to be the one who should have received Bhagavad Gita. But Arjun is the one who received it from Lord. So did Lord Krishna make any mistake? And sometimes these questions, they do come into our mind. I've definitely heard people asking these questions. And the answer is that Krishna actually did go to Duryodhan. Remember, Krishna went to Duryodhan and said that Duryodhan, I'm here. And Krishna wanted to share a lot more. And Duryodhan said, well, hang on. I understand everything. I do. That's what Duryodhan said. Duryodhan said, and this happened before Bhagavad Gita. Remember, Bhagavad Gita, 700 verses is a part of a big Kavya, Mahabharata. So if you read Mahabharata, just before Bhagavad Gita started, before that, this conversation happened, where Duryodhan said to Lord Krishna that I actually understand what is papa, what is punya. I actually understand what I'm doing is not right. But then he said one thing, and that makes Arjuna and Duryodhan very different. And then Duryodhan said that I don't feel like it. That's it. It's as simple as that. I don't feel like it. He said, I do have the wisdom. I do understand what I'm doing is wrong, but I don't feel like doing good. I just don't want to. I don't feel like it. I know what I'm doing is wrong. I know that I'm not doing right thing with the Pandavas, but I don't feel like it. Now think about it. How many times this happens in our life, right? Everyone knows we should do some kind of exercise. Everyone knows, or most of the people, I guess, that we should take care of our body, never mind the mind and the soul behind it. But I hope everyone knows that we need to take care of this body. How many times this happens? We know, for example, the oil is bad, sugar is bad, not doing exercise is bad, eating a lot is bad, right? Watching late night Netflix or whatever is these days, they are bad, but still we do. I remember my uni days, my university days, a lot and a lot of my friends, they will go what we call binge drinking, drinking after drinking the whole night until they drop dead. Not practically, not ideally, but that's it. They don't even know where their home is. Somebody sober will take them, drop them here and there. When in the morning they will wake up, they will realize where they are, and then their head is paining. And I know in the afternoon when they would turn in the library and they will meet me, and I say, "What's up? You had a party last night?" They said, "Yeah." And then most of them they say, "I don't know why we do it. I don't know." And I said, "Well, you had a good time." And I do remember that didn't stop in university. That happened in the office as well. Every Christmas, this would happen. And I was, because I don't drink, I was one of those who would drop my colleagues at their home at the end because they are not driving, because they know they're going to get drunk. And next morning, when I will see them and I will tell them, "Oh, did you have a good time?" And they said, "I hope so," because I don't remember. And I can't tell you how many of those I met who said, "I really wished that I remembered the good time I had it." They don't remember. What they do remember after that is pain. But guess what? Next weekend, next Christmas, they are ready to go again. They know it's going to pain. They know the alcohol is bad for them, but they would go again. Why? Exactly the same thing which Duryodhan said. I don't feel like it. I can't control my mind. Hence, we call it the body is a gross body. Body is a gross body, and then we have a subtle body. The physical body is a gross body, then we have a subtle body. And then, well, we are doing Shri Ishopnishad tomorrow on Saturdays. And in that, we discussing currently Mantra 15. As part of that, we are discussing subtle body. Subtle body is made up of, we will see all these things in detail in Bhagavad Gita. Subtle body is made up of mind. So we call it Man, Buddhi, Ahankar. Mind, intelligence, and ego. And then beyond it, we have what we call Atma. This is the way we get subtler and subtler. The physical body, then mind, intelligence, and ego. And then further we go, we get to the soul. So we should always remember that. We should remember what we're doing, why we're doing it. And the whole game could be what if we take the lesson from Duryodhan, that mind. If mind we can't control. One step forward, Arjun went. Arjun said exactly the same thing. Arjun said exactly the same thing. And we will see by the end of chapter 1, Arjun said to Krishna, "So sorry, I can't fight because of this. A number of places Arjun said, "But I can't control my mind." Bhagavan said, Lord Krishna said, "Control your mind." And he said, "Well, it feels like I can control the air which is there, but I can't control the mind." And then Krishna gave the practices how we can control the mind. But there is one thing in chapter 2. Well, Bhagavad Gita 2.7, chapter 2, verse 7, which Arjun did, which Duryodhan didn't. That Arjun surrendered to the Lord and said, "Could you please help me?" Duryodhan never said that. Duryodhan said, "I don't feel like it," and that's it. He never said that, "Oh Krishna, could you help me?" And that's the difference. That's the reason. And we will see Bhagavad Gita, the flow until 2.7, Krishna didn't say. Krishna didn't start Bhagavad Gita. And if you hear from many other acharyas, like Adi Shankaracharya ji, he just skipped all chapter 1 and few verses until Krishna started. And he reckoned that's when the real Bhagavad Gita started. Krishna didn't start Bhagavad Gita, the wisdom from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna didn't start until Arjun surrendered. So that's one way of getting information from someone. We respectfully surrender and seek the help and advice rather than waiting to get it. Hare Krishna. So let's get it further. We saw last time the story of Mother Ganga, Shantanu, Satyavati. Parashar Muni and Satyavati, we got it Vyasadeva. Why? And then there is a bit of dotted line, and we will see why. We saw the whole story of Bhishma last time. And Hare Krishna to Kanchan Mataji, Pranam Mataji. So good to have you. Seek your blessings. And I'm missing Prabhuji on
Hare
this.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol. Thank you so much. So we saw last time the story of Bhishma and what we could learn from that. Remember, anything and everything we do, and from Vedic culture, the way the culture is, all the stories in Puranas, all these pastimes, they give us some takeaways which we could utilize in our day-to-day life. And that's the whole purpose of the life. Our life, if we consider as 100%, we just need to cleanse. It says in Upanishad that we are pure consciousness, but a bit of dirt is on top of it. And the whole life, we just need to keep taking that. Of course, stop adding more dirt into it. Don't engross yourself into material world. But at the same time, the dirt which we already are in, take that dirt away. And what will happen? Not only our spiritual life, but our material life get much, much, much better, much peaceful. And then hopefully one day there will be a very thin line between material and spiritual. And hopefully one day it will just completely disappear. Even when we are interacting with someone materially, it feels like spiritually, because we will be able to see Krishna, the Lord, presence of Lord in everyone. When I say everyone, that means everyone, regardless of the caste, color, creed, nationality. When we will see, it's not on others, how others they behave to us. It's how we see others. So we always take the example, and those who have attended some of the previous sessions, not the last couple of sessions on Bhagavad Gita, but the other sessions on other forum, that if in case we see, let's say, a beautiful girl is coming and she's wearing very short clothes, right? If there is a young man who would look, that young man might see that woman, somebody who he would like to enjoy, right? But at the same time, if the father of the woman or girl would see her, exactly same clothes, he would only have the love for her, for his daughter. Same thing if the brother will look, mother will look. How about if the friends will look? It's what we have, right? The relationship we make with others, not how others appear. Of course, if others, because if we are not purified yet, if others will behave better, it will help us. But right at the end of the day, if our consciousness is pure, then it doesn't really matter which circumstances we are. But because we all are what we call sadhakas, the practitioners, we do take care of our circumstances as well. But remember, once somebody is Buddha, enlightened one, then the circumstances won't affect. But until then, we try to take care of our own consciousness, try to improve it, purify it, but also at the same time, take care of the surroundings as well. But we will see more when we will start Bhagavad Gita verses. So now, I hope you would know. If not, very briefly, I will go through some of the stories. And I'm looking here in the list. There are a few devotees who are missing, especially one of the kid who've been here, well, all the sessions, this one and the other ones. And he loved the stories. So hope he's okay. If he's not here, he will catch up at some point. But Shantanu and Satyavati, so Bhishma decided not to have any children because he's not going to get married. Shantanu and Satyavati, they are going to have kids. They did have kids, two of them, Chitranga and Vichitraveer. Now, Chitranga was one of them. If you see, like Bhishma doesn't have any forwarding arrows. Chitranga doesn't have any forwarding arrows either because he died very young. So he didn't stay there for long. He died very young. He didn't marry. He didn't have any kids. So the box stopped at him. There is no further arrows from Chitranga. But the second son from Shantanu and Satyavati, Vichitraveer, he got married. And actually, Bhishma got him married. He was just like Chitranga, he was very weak physically and mentally as well. He wasn't supposed to be a king, but because Bhishma had taken the oath, he can't. Vichitraveer became the king, but he didn't have any kingly qualifications, eligibility. Hence, he was not getting any proposals for the marriages. So he was now getting older and older, and then his parents started getting worried, especially Satyavati. So Shantanu also died, but Satyavati lived very long, and Satyavati consulted Bhishma, and Bhishma went to a marriage ceremony and got three sisters, and they were supposed to be in the Swambar. Bhishma went there, and because in that Swambar, Vichitraveer was not invited, Bhishma considered that as, because remember, Bhishma considered himself to be taking care of the whole dynasty. So Bhishma considered that this is an offense towards the kingdom, Kuru dynasty. Hence, he went there, single-handedly defeated everyone, all other kings, and he took three sisters who were supposed to have the Swambar. And here we only see two sisters, because the third sister, and that's a side story, we will not go at the moment. As I was saying, there are so many stories and a lot of lessons to learn. And also to understand everything in our life happens with the Lord's permission. So even if something goes wrong from our perspective, remember it happened because Krishna wanted, and Krishna knows much better than us, even if something goes wrong. And that's the reason devotees always cherish the time rather than crying for something which is over. So we have Ambika, we have Ambalika, and the third sister is not there because the third sister didn't come. She went back and she prayed. Later, she got another bird and she became, anybody would like to guess? From Mahabharata, Ambika, Ambalika. The third sister became the cause of Bhishma's death. And that was the boom she wanted. And she did get it. And she did become the cause of Bhishma's death. Three sisters, Ambika, Ambalika, and the third one. Right? Okay. No one's saying anything in the chat. No one is saying anything audio-wise. So we move further. The name of, well, in the next birth, the name of the third sister was Shikhandi. Hey, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Ambika. Yes. Ambika. Right. So in the next birth, she became Shikhandi. And as we know, Shikhandi was neither man nor a woman. And Bhishma will not attack. Hence, Shikhandi went and assisted Arjun. And Bhishma didn't attack back. Hence, Shikhandi became the cause of Bhishma's death, because Bhishma was the reason that she could not get married, because she didn't want to get married to Vichitraveer. But Ambika and Ambalika, they could not resist, and they said, okay, Bhishma will not get married to us, and we can't go back to the same kingdom we came from now. and all other kings who could not defeat Bhishma, we will have to stay here. Let's make peace with Vichittravira. And they did. And they lived very peacefully. And they made the offspring. So from Ambika and Vichittravira, we got the arrow going down as Dhritarashtra, right? And we know Dhritarashtra got married to Gandhari. But if you go on the other side, Vichittravira and Ambika, we got Pandu, right? And we know Pandu got two wives. First Kunti, elder, and then Madhuri as the second one. From Gandhari, if we remember, Gandhari was, it says in our Shastras, Gandhari was a demigod. And some of, like Bhishma, I mentioned last time, was a Vasu. Vasu is also a demigod or a group of heavenly beings, not earthly beings, heavenly beings, like Mother Ganga is heavenly. So similarly, Gandhari was also one of the demigoddess, and she came down because of a reason, because again she was cursed for something. But Shakuni was there because Gandhari, when Bhishma came for Gandhari's marriage proposal, then the Gandhari's father was very happy. And he said, yes, sure, we accept it. We would like to get married to your king. But they were thinking that Gandhari will get married to Pandu, who was the youngest one. And actually, Pandu was the king, but Dhritarashtra was the eldest one. But there was something wrong with Dhritarashtra. Well, we say wrong, which is considered as wrong, that he was born blind. So he was blind since his birth. Hence, Gandhari's father and brother Shakuni, they never thought that Bhishma came for Dhritarashtra's marriage proposal. They just said, we would like Gandharis to be the princess, and of course in future the queen. And then they were very happy. But they thought that they're going to get married to Pandu, but when they realized later that it's too late to resist, and they realized too late that Gandhari is going to get married to Dhritarashtra, Shakuni didn't take it very well. He said, I'm going to ruin this kingdom. Even though my daughter is going to be part of that, but I'm going to ruin it, which he eventually did. Because it ruined, made his nephew's life very bad. He gave very bad association to them. There were 101, so 100 sons and one daughter from Gandhari. And the son, out of 100 sons, the eldest one was Duryodhan. And Shakuni always gave his company, his association. Hence, we call it in spirituality, A, B, C, D of spirituality is A for association. The very first thing we need to take care is association. And then B for books, read Bhagavad Gita, read Bhagavatam, read the books, read the Shastras. C for chanting, always take the name of the Lord, especially in Kali Yuga, because there is nothing else. All these sessions we do, the whole reason, the whole point is that we raise our awareness and consciousness regarding the Lord so we can take the name of the Lord, right? So our faith will increase. That's the whole point. So we should understand from the example of Shakuni that there are bad association. It could be in our family as well. But the advices they give, the suggestions they give, that might not be in our long term. Even though in short term it looks good. Duryodhana said, well, Mama ji, Shakuni Mama is thinking very well of me because he wants me to be the prince and later king. So nobody could say that's a bad thing. But of course, that was very selfish, because to achieve that, he wanted his nephews, Duryodhana and others, to commit sins, not only against the Lord, which Lord sometimes turn the blind eye, but towards the devotees of the Lord, which Lord never accepts. So we will see more of that in Bhagavad Gita. But that was one of the bad thing happened, that Shakuni gave the wrong association. If you see Ramayana, the same thing happened there, that because of the wrong association of mantra, Kekai asked for something which she didn't want to. She didn't have that in mind, that Rama is not my son. But because mantra was there. She gave the wrong association, and it was not just once. Mantra actually came with Kekai from her kingdom. This used to happen, like the way dowry goes. When the bride will come, bride will bring a lot of jewelry, a lot of gifts. But those days, bride used to bring a lot of servants as well. A lot of elephants, horses, but a lot of servants with them. The servants who've been taking care of them since they were child. So that's what happened. That's how. And of course, in this example, Shakuni came in dowry as a gift that I'm going to live with you. Not supposed to, but that's what he did. And the similar thing with mantra. And mantra did it slowly, gradually. She always kept doing it. It didn't happen once. So sometimes what we do, sometimes when we eat. So I remember when many years back, it was in news, somebody said that, oh, well, see, this a brand, I'm just taking the name, Coca-Cola, for example. It could be a different one, but Coca-Cola, all these soft drinks, if you put, because they are highly carbonated drinks, if you put them in the commode, you can just clean it so nicely because there is so much poison in it. And that's the way it was portrayed in the news. And then now we don't drink it, but there was someone I went to and she was drinking it. And I said, well, have you seen that news? I think it's not good for health. And she said, Bhaiya, I've been drinking this all my life, maybe 30 years. Yeah, she was 30. So let's say maybe for 20 years she was drinking, right? But later on, she found out a few things wrong with her body, right? The slow poison. There are so many things. For example, smoking. People smoke. And not that they will smoke today and tomorrow they will get the ulcers or the cancers. No, it happens on maybe 15, 20 years later. But by then it's too late. So this is one of the wisdom we get from Vedic Shastras, slow poison. The association. And association is not just humanly association. Association is also what we hear. Association is what we see. Association is what we eat, what we drink. It doesn't happen straight away. So I was discussing with somebody who might be taking the medicines for diabetes, but still having sugar in his or her diet. Think about it, how wise is that? So on one side, you take the medicines to take care of your diabetes, but on the other side, you take sweets, which are bad for your health. Where? Now, a lot of time people will say, I don't feel like it. I can't control. Duryodhan, I can't control myself. And that's the thing. So it's not that people don't know. Most of the time they do know, we do know, but it's hard to control our mind. And Srila Prabhupada ji, in his purpose, in his commentaries, have explained Shastra such a way that how we don't actually need to control. We need to engage. It's not that we don't want to eat, but whatever we eat, whatever we see, whatever we hear, whatever we touch, wherever we go, it should be Krishna conscious. That's it. So our consciousness will become Krishna consciousness, and that's what Upanishad says as pure consciousness. So Upanishad says, what's the Lord? Lord is pure consciousness. That's how, because Upanishads are a bit abstract. Puranas, they give. So Bhagavatam will say, Krishna. Ete chamcha kalapam sam. Krishna stu Bhagavana swayam. This is a verse from Bhagavatam, that Krishna is the Lord. But Upanishads will not say that. Upanishads will be a bit abstract. They will say pure consciousness, purified consciousness is like your God. Hence, sometimes Advaita people understand that I'm saying I am God. But it's not that I am God. We also say, so in Shri Upanishad, the invocation mantra, Om Purnamada Purnamidam. What Srila Prabhupada explained, Krishna is Purna, the Lord is Purna, Lord is Satyachit Anand. We have emanated from Krishna, from the Lord. Hence, we are true Satyachit Anand. The only thing is we need to realize it. That's it. The only thing is we need to realize it. Once we realize it, we don't need anything else. We don't really need anything else. Right? Materially, everything will go like Parikshit Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, Janak Maharaj, Amrish Maharaj. They all were kings. And from externally, we will see they are enjoying, they are in sense gratification. But no, they are always engaged in Krishna conscious activities, inside and a lot of times outside as well. And that's what Krishna does. Krishna knows. In Bhagavad Gita, we will see Chaitya Guru, Chit, conscious. Lord is there within everyone's heart as we call it Chaitya Guru, or we can say Paramatma. That's the reason in India, in Sanatan Dharma, we always say Kan Kan me Ram Basa. Right? Every single atom on this planet, living or non-living, has Lord in it. What does that mean? The existence is not possible without the presence of the Lord. And that's the reason devotees are always happy, because either what they will want, that will happen, or if they wanted something that didn't happen, they realize that if my wish didn't get fulfilled, that means Krishna's wish got fulfilled. Hence, there is even more bigger reason to be happy, because what Krishna wanted for us was, first, if it appears like it's bad, it's because of our past karma. But second, because there is something good out of it. Hence, devotees are always happy. Right? But mind it, when I say happy, that doesn't mean that devotees won't get sick. The devotees won't get diseases. Devotees not going to get old and die. No, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. All these four things going to happen to everyone. But these things happens to the body. Devotees realize they are the soul behind it, which is the very first thing Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita to Arjun. That Arjun, why are you crying? Because Arjun said, because of the compassion towards these people whom I'm going to kill, I can't fight anymore. Krishna said, but these are human bodies, they are going to die anyways. And you are not killing them. You are just serving your dharma, which is a Kshatriya dharma. You are here to protect the religion, not to get the kingdom and enjoy the kingdom. So fight, but you need to know what the reason to fight is. So yes, we do need to go to the office and do our work to get the money, but we need to understand with that money, what's the consciousness that I will make another big house and we will do a lot of other things. What do? We do need to realize that. Yes, we always that do whatever we need to do, but always realize that all the skills, all the knowledge has been given by Krishna. Hence, what we do afterwards is for Krishna. Like the example I say, somebody working in Tesco, Morrison's, Lulu, a cashier. Cashier takes all the cash, but cashier needs to realize that the cashier is taking on behalf of this store manager, behalf of the owner of the shop, right? Not for the personal use. Hence, whatever we get is the mercy of the Lord, and we should utilize. Of course, take care of our body, very well take care of the body, because body is that vehicle in which the soul can travel. But the body is just the vehicle. It's like a lady who had a parrot in golden cage, and every morning she will come and she will clean the cage, but didn't feed the soul, didn't feed the bird. The bird died one day. The same thing we do all of our life. We go out and we try to enjoy bodily, yeah, or the body. We act like we are body. If somebody will ask, who are you? We say, this is me. What are you? You will point towards yourself. But think of this. We always say, these are my eyes. My. I am not my eyes, but these eyes are mine, which means I is different than from I. I, alphabet is different from the eyes. Whose hand is this? This is my hand, right? We say, whose book is this? This is my book. I am not the book, but this is my book. Whose hand is this? This is my hand. I am not this hand. This hand is mine. But who am I? I am not this body. This body is mine. That's what we say. Whose body is this? this body is of so and so. So and so is different from the body, hence the body is still there, but so and so has left. That so and so is the soul. And that's the only thing we need to realize, that we are soul. We are soul, and soul is spiritual. Soul is spiritual. Right? Anything we have said so far, we have discussed so far. Last 15 minutes left before we go any further or wrap it up or conclude or summarize anything. Anybody would like to share any wisdom? I know great devotees here. Any realization, and it could be any realization, not only spiritual, could be material realizations. We get the realizations all the time, sometimes from our own mistakes, sometimes from the mistakes of those who are around us. Like somebody said that I don't need to fall in the pit to realize there is a pit. I can see others falling and I know I need to go around that pit. I don't have to fall in it. And that's what devotees do. Well, of course, if you have fallen, then it's because of your own previous karma. But if you see others, and that's the devotee congregation help each other, right? So Shakuni should have helped, but no, Shakuni gave the wrong association. Hence, we should always be very careful. Doesn't really matter how close that association is, but is this association good or bad for us? And sometimes what happens, maybe our parents. Now, who else would like to have our best interest than our parents? Parents would, even though it's Kali, but let's say parents would always want the best for their kids, but they will only give best what they think is the best, right? So I was there in Cambridge working, and one of the guy, my colleague next to me, he said, my daughter doesn't like the taste of beer, but she doesn't mind wine. And I said, hang on, as far as I know, your kids are very small. And then he said, no, she's 6 now. And then I said, well, are they allowed to drink at the age of 6? And he said, oh, well, it's just sips, It's not that they're drinking and getting drunk. And I said, who are they now? He said, my son. I said, well, older or younger? I said, yeah, he's only 4. Well, he also drinks? No, not drinks, but just sips. So they both have tried beer and wine. My daughter, she loves the wines. And then he was taking pride in, I didn't know, well, I still don't know, but like which quality and which brand, like red wine, white wine, and which wine is good, which one. But I was just amazed. And now who would say it's good or bad? Parents. If parents think it's good, then they will give. And they will say, well, there's nothing wrong in it. But so there are, of course, a lot of examples like this. So was the moral that even those who might have all pure heart to help us, but they will only give to us what they think is the best, and that could be wrong as well. Hence, Srila Prabhupada always said, it's not mine, it's not yours, it's what the Shastras are saying. It's what Lord Krishna has said to Arjun in Bhagavad Gita. We need to take those, not what I understand, not what feels good to me. Like a lot of time people say, according to me. But who are we? And I give the example, like without glasses, I can't even see. And a lot of times, hearing is bad, right? A lot of times, logically, what we think is wrong. Mahatma Gandhi ji gave a lot of examples like that. So what we say that we can't really trust our senses because these are imperfect senses. And we did cover that in the beginning of Shri Ishopanishad, Mantra 1. Prabhupada ji explained how and why we can't, because our senses are imperfect, we get deluded, which means we get an illusion. And when we get an illusion, we make mistakes. When we make mistakes, we try to hide the mistakes and then we start cheating others. So these are the 4 issues with us. Human body. First, we have imperfect senses. Imperfect senses is we let's say even if we can hear, we can only hear so long. And I'm sure a lot of times you would have heard saying, "Oh well, if you hear this person on the phone, you would not know who is it elder son or the younger son because both of their voices are very same, right? Because we can't trust. We have imperfect senses, and we make mistakes. When we make mistakes, it's because we get deluded, we get illusion. Like in the desert, we are there, we see from the far this is a mirage. We know this is a mirage, but still we will make mistakes. You go there, you realize, you come back, and then again you will see water there. You know you just been there, there's no water there, but our senses are so imperfect. Hence, we don't trust our senses. What do we trust is the words from the Shastras, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, what Lord has said about it. And of course, the senior Vaishnavas, they explain it even more detailed. Our Guru Maharaj will explain, the Acharyas will explain, and we take their words. Right? So today we have seen a bit further, and right, we still have 8 minutes left. So I will continue. And I hope we know a lot of details in it. So I will not go further details. But Kunti and Madhvi, Kunti had boon. She can get babies. She could call on demigods. And when demigods will come, she will not ask for anything. They will give babies. They say, we have to give something. And then Karn was the first one, which was like a test tube baby, if I say so, because there was no planning. And Kunti was just testing. And Karna happened from Lord Surya. So hence he was called Suryaputra. Yudhishthir came from the very first one after she got married from Pandavas, from Yamraj. Hence he was called Dharmraj. The reason he was called Dharmraj because the death, Yam, Raj, he never differentiates. Whoever is good, he will give good. Whoever is bad, he will give bad. Doesn't really matter. That's what Yudhishthira did. So even if his brothers were wrong, how many times he stopped Bhima? No, Bhima, what you're doing is wrong. Speak nicely to Dhritarashtra. Bhima didn't have control. Bhima was Vayuputra, and he was always in Veg, always in pace. And Hanumanji is Bhima's elder brother. And in Mahabharata, right at the end, they did have a conversation. I think twice in Mahabharata that happened. That was the very first time, I guess. And then Arjun came from Indra, the leader of demigods. Hence, very, very good in the military arts. Then Nakul and Sahadev happened from Madhuri because Kunti gave that mantra to Madhuri and Madhuri gave Nakul and Sahadev, who came from Ashwani Kumar. They were the brothers. Hence, they were very beautiful. Hence, they had medicinal qualities. So the Ashwani Kumar, Ashwa is the horse. So when they were born, they were the way the children cry, their cry. So when somebody heard, said, "Oh well, it looks like horse is crying." Hence, they were named Ashwani Kumar, and they were the Vaidya. They were the doctors, medical doctors for all the demigods. So when they gave birth to Nakul and Sahadev, they had the similar qualities, which is they were very similar, Nakul and Sahadev, and they were very beautiful like Ashwani Kumar, and they had the medicinal qualities. So Nakul and Sahadev could predict the future, and he did a few times. Krishna stopped him later. Then don't do that. Because Sahadev could see what's going to happen, who's going to die in Mahabharata. And Krishna came to him and explained that if you're going to reveal that, that's going to be the bad. And of course, Sukhdev was unhappy because he could see who's going to die. And he knew both sides, a lot of people going to die. Similar thing with Arjun expected, and Arjun got in the middle. Sahadev also got upset, but that's not part of the Bhagavad Gita. But in Mahabharata, we have this episode where Krishna goes to Sahadev and takes a kind of promise from him that you will never reveal this to anyone. But Sahadev, there was another reason. Uh, At one point, and this is another thing from Mahabharata, there's so many stories there that and so many learnings there. Similar thing happened with the Yadu, like we have Kuru family, we had Yadu, which is coming from Krishna, and how he was given a boon from his parents, and well, he was cursed, but and his brother was given a boon. Similar, when Pandu died, they they there was a reason, and without going into a lot of details, but there was a reason they wanted to a bit of the body they didn't want to burn, they wanted to conserve. And they said Pandu's body has a lot of good in it. If any of Pandu's son, so Muni said it, and Krishna was there, if any of Pandu's son will eat some of this flesh, will get a lot of knowledge and wisdom. All the four brothers said, nope, we are not going to do. He was our father, his body, and we're going to eat it. Such a bad thing to do it. But Sahadev said that I will do it. And he did. And because of that, Sahadev was very clever, very smart. And a lot of things he did was because of those. And Krishna explained that at one point in Mahabharata, that Sahadev is one of those. Somebody came to Krishna for advice, and Krishna sent that boy to Sahadev. And then he said, why Sahadev? I understand Pandus are great, but the youngest Pandu? And he explained why he's the wisest and why and what he could do, which meant he could see the future as well. But he was given, as I said, the promise to Krishna that he will not reveal the future to others, otherwise other people will get panic. So Yudhishthir and everyone else later got married to Draupadi, hence she was called Panchali. And there's another story there. Arjun got married to Krishna's and Lord Balram's cousin sister, that hence the dotted line. And in Jagannath Puri, we have Jagannath, Lord Jagannath, which is Krishna, Balram, and Subhadra. These three deities are there in Jagannath Puri. And anywhere, wherever you will go around and see Jagannath Yatra, you will always see Jagannath, Balram, and in the middle, Subhadra. Then from Arjun and Subhadra, we got Abhimanyu, the teenager, the renowned teenager from Mahabharata, who entered into the Chakravyuh. And then from Abhimanyu and his wife Uttara. Abhimanyu died, but Uttara was pregnant. And when Mahabharata completed, Parikshit came out. Parikshit was the whole. So Bhima said to Ashwathama that you think you have killed 5 sons of ours and now our dynasty is going to die. You forgot that Abhimanyu's wife Uttara is pregnant. Hence, we're going to get that son who is going to take our dynasty forward. And that's the reason the Brahmastra was sent to kill Parikshit in Uttara's womb. And Lord Krishna went in there inside the womb and saved Parikshit. Hence, when Parikshit came out, Parikshit started looking who came inside to save me. Hence, his name called Parikshit. Parikshit in English, like somebody who is verifying. So when he came out, he was checking everyone. Who was the one who came inside? And as soon as he saw Krishna, he bowed down. And then Parikshit was the one, a great devotee because of him. Well, Kali started at the time of Parikshit. Parikshit was there. And Parikshit is the reason we got the whole Bhagavatam. So Krishna willing, at some point, if we start Bhagavatam, we will hear a lot more about Parikshit. So we did all that. Maybe we have a few more slides, which we will do next time. Very generic before we will get to the next level in our Bhagavad Gita. And I'm still here if anybody would like to say anything, would like to add anything. Otherwise, it's 9 o'clock. And we
Hare
always
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then we pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you for your association, Prabhuji. And thank you to everyone for your presence, those who are here in Zoom, those who are live on YouTube. And if there are any questions, I will be more than happy. And thanks for your presence. You come, hence I get the opportunity to serve you. I look forward to have you back again tomorrow at the same time. And we always start on time, finish on time, 1 hour. Look forward for your association. Hare Krishna, everyone. With that, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Good day, Mata.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe, Radhe.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Hare
Jai
Krishna.
Shri Krishna,
Radhe
Prabhuji.
Radhe.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Hare